Notre Dame won the toss and deferred to the third quarter. So it will be that high-powered North Carolina offense to take the field first. Zach Yoakum will kick it deep. And the freshman Amarian Hampton to receive. Returnable from the 5. And he is stood up at about the 21-yard line. Fights forward for another couple of yards. So it will be at about the 23-yard line. Well, and would feel very comfortable on this stage. Mack Brown says nothing affects him. And he will throw on first down. Eyes downfield, out of the pocket, tosses one man-to-man coverage. And J.J. Jones climbs the ladder and pulls it in at the Notre Dame 48-yard line.
And there's that patience by Drake Maye. It's really just a hitch route. It's good coverage by Notre Dame. And then Jones realizes quarterback leaves the pocket. Look at him, fully outstretched to make that catch. A beautiful job, quarterback, receiver seeing it the same way.
Maye, a quick hitter underneath. That's Kamari Morales. And he fights for extra yardage and picks up about 6, close to 7. Cam Hart missed the tackle.
You know, that first play of the game is kind of a great representation of who Drake Maye is. As talented as you can be for a redshirt freshman.
There goes Josh Downs in motion. As Heels fans are happy to see him back, the true freshman Hampton goes up the middle. He picks up the first down. Jack Kaiser brought him down as the top 2 receivers back in the lineup for the first time this season for the Tar Heels. We expect to see Antoine Green at some point as well. Play action. Maye steps up, and he'll take off and pay the price. Maris Leofau was there to bring him down after a gain of 6.
Leofau is a player for Notre Dame, linebacker-wise. Just got great instincts that are natural to the game of football. Once he starts playing more, coming off of that injury and letting the game come to him, you are going to see him as a player absolutely take off.
My hair envy of Maris Leofau is real. Quarterback run. Maye into the secondary. Inside the 15-yard line before he's tripped up by Leofau. 15-yard run for Drake Maye.
Watch this by Hampton on the left side. He sees nickel pressure off the edge. Bang, he steps up. That allows the seam for Maye to get through on that run. Really good job by the freshman. Seeing that pressure and Drake Maye just following his lead block.
Impressive opening drive for North Carolina. Maye, again well protected, floats one high. And incomplete, looking for Morales inside the 5. It'll be second down from the 14-yard line. Now the second stint on the sideline is the head coach at North Carolina, Mack Brown, and he is a joy to talk to. It's no wonder kids want to come here to play for him.
71 years old, and he even said it himself. I mean, how many 71-year-olds do you know that can actually, effect change in a kid's life? And I think that's one of the things that just keeps him so energetic at that head coach spot.
Antoine Green in the game for the first time, split out wide right. Instead, it's a handoff running right for Hampton. And there is the physicality of that Notre Dame defensive front. They're tough to move. Riley Mills supported by Jack Kaiser, and now it's third down and long.
Notre Dame's defense, very good front 7. You mentioned Mills, you mentioned Kaiser. That's the strength of this football team. The one difference I would say with Carolina offensively this year, with Drake Maye, he sees the field so well. That's an advantage down in the red zone. You can build in true pass concepts to attack this Notre Dame defense.
He looks to the 3 wide receiver side and now scrambles at the 10, at the 5, and that looks to be good enough for a first down. Jack Kaiser tripped him up, but another scramble for Drake Maye. He's got 11 more, and it's first and goal.
Just great reaction. He's really getting through 3 or 4 of the progression here. And you see those instincts, Bob? The ability to see, I got to see him on the right. Athletic enough to go create that first down off his feet and then get down to avoid that hit. You're kind of seeing the whole plethora of talent Drake Maye has.
First and goal inside the 2. Hampton up the middle. Turned back. Isaiah Foskey on top of Amarian Hampton. And he was in the middle of that collision.
That's a great job by Foskey versus Rolland, the right tackle. See that just kind of shove off. And then Hampton's a big 220-pound back. The ability to be physical, make that big stop.
Now they load up. Hampton the lone setback. Takes the handoff. He's going to lose real estate. Now it's 3rd down and goal. Foskey in the backfield again.
Foskey just, right now, the last 2 plays has been dominant. They've challenged him, you know, become more than just a pass rusher. And you're seeing his commitment to that show up in those first 2 goal-to-go plays.
The 11th play of the drive, 3rd down and goal inside the 5. Caleb Hood, the lone setback. Play action. Maye extended. Maye, end zone, diving attempt, incomplete. Antoine Green, the intended receiver. So it looks like Notre Dame will have a bend but don't break defensive drive as Mack Brown going to opt for the field goal here.
I think Carolina should go for it, but this is great discipline by everybody in Carolina's defense. Make sure that number 1 isn't there, and then you see the outstretched arms by Green.
Interesting. We talked to Mack Brown about how aggressive he was going to be, going for 7s rather than 3s yesterday, Dan.
He talked about it. Again, your defense hasn't played good football if you're North Carolina. You think Notre Dame's going to have some success. I like this aggressive thought.
And now a timeout's going to be called from the sideline for Notre Dame.
Timeout.
By Marcus Freeman.
Notre Dame, first charge, timeout.
So that might be a moment where a head coach on the opposite sideline is saying, wait a minute, they're not kicking a field goal here.
Sure.
We need to talk things over.
Yeah, one of the things that, you know, Mack Brown talked to us about was he actually took his defense for North Carolina and showed them clips of Notre Dame's defense, saying, hey guys, you know, they got a good defense, so we're going to have to play a little bit better football. And I think this is a moment where Mack Brown's saying, you know, until my defense proves to me that we're going to be able to stop people consistently, we got to play aggressive offensively. I think this is an opportunity. They got 3 good tight ends. Morales, Copenhaver, and Nesbitt. I think, though, you could put those 3 tight ends on the field, create matchups versus Notre Dame's defense, and then you give your young quarterback a bunch of different options. Notre Dame's got to do a really good job here, Bob. We've seen it a couple of times already. Drake Maye using his feet to go create. They got to make sure that they don't give him any seam to go run through.
And no second guess for Mack Brown during the timeout. They're still going to stick with the go-for-it strategy. 4th and goal from the 4-yard line. Maye to throw. Back corner of the end zone. Fits it in. Caught. Touchdown. Welcome back, Josh Downs.
This is great protection, just a little ball fake. Give your young quarterback just a chance. And I love the type of pace on that throw, allowing Josh Downs to go climb up and go make that big-time catch.
A knee injury in the opener against Florida A&M cost Downs the last 2 games, but with a bye week factored in as well, they knew he'd be back today, and he is back, and then some.
Welcome back, number 11. A little bit of a wheel and stutter route over Bracey. That young player knows, I got number 11, Josh Downs. Let me make sure I just give him the opportunity to go make that catch. You see the tapping of the head. Good aggressiveness by North Carolina coming out in that first drive.
So a decision for Mack Brown that is as much a comment on his confidence in his offense as maybe his lack thereof in his defense, but it pays off.
I think, he said yesterday, until my defense shows me that we're going to play better, more fundamental, consistent football, he's got to change the way that he approaches the game when it comes to play calling.
This one will go through the back of the end zone for a touchback from Jonathan Kim. So now it will be our first look at a Notre Dame offense with, of course, the backup quarterback in Drew Pyne taking over for the injured Tyler Buckner. But last week, somewhere in the second quarter, it seemed like against Cal, they made a conscious decision. If we're going to win, it's going to be because of our big boys up front and how we can run the football.
Imagine the pressure of being the starting quarterback at Notre Dame. So you saw early on in that football game a little bit of the nerves playing their part, but he definitely settled in. They ran the football better, and he got into a little bit of rhythm in that second half.
Well, Logan Diggs is the tailback that splits out wide to the near side left as a receiver. So empty backfield, and they're going to put it in Drew Pyne's hands to start. Tipped ball, and it falls incomplete. So Notre Dame doesn't play, at least to start, what you would think their strength would be.
Well, I think a big thing for Notre Dame is you're going to see them put a bunch of different people, personnel-wise, and formations. This is a really good job by North Carolina defensively. Is that Vahasik getting their hands up defensively?
Looked like Noah Taylor.
Noah Taylor. But just different people, different personnels, different formations to see what North Carolina does defensively to match.
Chris Tyree on the carry for Notre Dame, number 25.
Welcome to Chapel Hill, and welcome to a continuing day of ACC football. Here on ABC, Bob Wischusen, Dan Orlovsky, and Chris Budden underway here at Kenan Stadium, and an early test for the Fighting Irish. 3rd down and 3, their first possession of this game after they surrendered a touchdown on North Carolina's opening drive. Drew Pyne looking right, knocked down at the line. Raymond Vahasik, as Noah Taylor knocked one down earlier on that drive. Now the opening possession for North Carolina was already a show being put on by Drake Maye. He ran for 33 yards on the opening drive, but North Carolina, Dan Orlovsky, got to 4th and 4 at the 4-yard line, went for it on 4th and goal, and the decision paid off as Drake Maye floated one to Josh Downs for the early lead.
Just an impressive drive to start this game for Drake Maye. You saw a little bit with his feet. You saw his ability to push the ball downfield. The decision-making was very good, and then your defense goes 3 and out, 2 batted balls at the line of scrimmage. Ideal start for Carolina.
Cam Kelly fought off the first tackler, but couldn't move it any further than a 2-yard return. Perfect day to watch a college football game here at Chapel Hill. Presented by Arby's. This is the ACC on ABC. We can only hope that this game is as good as the last one. What a thriller between Clemson and Wake Forest. North Carolina with the early 7-0 lead. And they start now at their own 16-yard line. Bob Wischusen here with Dan Orlovsky and Chris Budden. Drake Maye, terrific on drive number 1. And here's Caleb Hood starting off the second possession for the Heels. Gabriel Rubio brought him down near the line of scrimmage. It will be 2nd down and 10. And Drake Maye, Dan, the moment you watched his tape and started sending us some clips this week, you immediately said, well, this is a difference-making, talented quarterback.
Yeah, so movement like Joe Burrow, just in the pocket, just that natural, subtle athleticism, and I think his ability to know exactly where the ball needs to go versus what the defense is giving him, seeing the field is an absolute strength of his.
He didn't see the rush coming that time from the blind side, and down he goes. Riley Mills gets the sack at the 6-yard line.
This is a really good job by Notre Dame's defensive front. Foskey's going to go inside, and then you're going to see Mills wrap around on the outside. Great set. The tackle has to step down to protect against Foskey, and then Mills wraps over the top. That's what they want to do, Notre Dame. 4-man front, and just don't run past the quarterback. Use those stunts to create an angle towards him.
3rd and 20. And the quarterback taking the snap from his own goal line. 4-man rush again. Under some pressure again. Incomplete. Bryson Nesbitt, the tight end, couldn't hold on. So the Heels go backwards, and they'll be punting from the end zone.
And I'll go back to the sack, because we were talking to Phil Longo, offensive coordinator for North Carolina, and what's the flaw? And Drake's going to have to mechanically get better, but consistently making boring decisions, checking the ball down, which so many young, talented quarterbacks have issues with. That's where, when he decides to figure that out and really kind of master that, you will watch this young man take off.
And Kiernan gets away a pretty good kick. Brandon Joseph all the way back to his own 40-yard line. Shakes and bakes to midfield. Breaks a tackle, gets hit from behind, but sets the Irish up at the North Carolina. Michael Maye could end up setting all of the records by the time he's done in South Bend.
You can make the case that that is America's most complete or best all-around tight end.
And they will try to get him the ball as often as possible today as he lines up as an H-back here. 1st and 10 from the +43. Here's Chris Tyree. And he'll move the pile for about 3 yards. Now, Michael Maye grew up in Kentucky dreaming of being a Kentucky basketball player. But his high school coach, John Frederick, of course, went to Notre Dame. He called up Todd Light, who was the DB coach at the time, but recruiting that area. Said, I just want to give you a heads up. I've got the next Kyle Rudolph on my high school basketball team. You might want to recruit him. They did. And he could be the record-setting tight end all time at Notre Dame. As Chris Tyree gets stacked up, it'll be 3rd down at about 4.5, Chris.
Bob, in talking with Mayer this week, he said, freshman year, I got a bench press for Christmas, and I used it so much I gained weight, and then I didn't have the ups that I used to have to play hoops. So the football coach said, why don't you come out? I said, well, what position would I play? He goes, we're 87, play tight end. Turned out pretty good decision.
That was a wise decision. And he will probably be the primary target on 3rd down and along 4, close to 5 as Mayer goes in motion. Pyne over the middle, reaching out to make the catch is Michael Mayer, and it is a 1st down.
This is great. Look at Pyne, peek to the right, wants his back. Now Mayer sits it down. That's called the juke route. Get that defender to come to you, and then once you feel his body come your way, slip right underneath him as his momentum carries him that way. I love the ball placement by Drew Pyne as well. But there's kind of like those strong hands that Michael Mayer has. One of his strengths. He's got those big, strong hands. Beautiful job. Ball placement and execution on the catch.
Pyne struggled early. His first career start last week against Cal, but settled down, and now he's in an empty backfield. Here comes the blitz, and down he goes. Power Eccles comes off the edge for a 7-yard sack.
Eccles just posed this pressure unblocked. Good thing, because as he blitzes, that post is going to become wide open. No one picks off the pressure off the edge, and that forces the ball for Drew Pyne. Just hesitation a little bit. He's got the ability to see no one in the middle of the field. You just got to trust that that post is going to be there before Eccles gets there.
Four-man rush on 2nd and 17. Pyne looking deep, double coverage for the end zone. Broken up. DeAndre Boykins undercut Jaden Thomas, and it's 3rd and 17.
It's 3-by-1, and it's really just an inside post. But there's a single high safety in the middle of the field. And Drew Pyne being aggressive downfield. Really good job by Carolina defensively. Get his hand on the ball.
Is this a get into field goal range play call here, or are you still thinking 1st down if you're Notre Dame?
Now you're trying to get 8 or 10 yards right now to get into field goal range.
Only a 3-man rush. And there's the hitter over the middle to Tyree. And he's not going to pick up the 1st down, but it does indeed, with a 13-yard gain, make it from almost completely out of field goal range to very makeable. It'll be a mid-range field goal attempt.
And I can tell you right now that Tyree's got to be a big part of their pass game, because that 2nd down ball that we saw get pushed down the field to Jaden Thomas, Estime's coming wide open. If you're going to pay that much attention to Michael Mayer and carry everything vertical, ball come out of your hand to your tailback a bunch.
So Arkansas State's all-time leader in points scored, the grad transfer, Blake Grupe, from 44. No. Missed it wide right. So they've got a good coach and just a good man at the helm as Omarion Hampton goes up the middle. He picks up 5 on first down. Jack Kaiser makes the stop.
Hampton's such an interesting player. I mean, 6 yards per carry, ACC Rookie of the Week, 6-footer, 220 pounds. Once he really understands how to take the physical and become a back, he's going to be a difference maker for them.
Maye, quarterback run again, and again takes a big hit, but moves the chains.
Using the athleticism, quick RPO. Can I flip it to Nesbitt? If not, when the defense widens, you just take it yourself. Love to see you get down before that big hit comes. But really good decision making in their RPO zone read game.
A form tackle by Xavier Watts, but how many of those types of shots do you want to see your quarterback take?
0.
Is that speaking from experience? Hampton dropped behind the line of scrimmage as we take a look after that Prince Collie tackle at our impact players.
And for Carolina offensively, it's Josh Downs. We've already seen him come in and be the slot receiver for Drake Maye and catch that touchdown pass. And then Marist Leofau, just tremendous natural instincts. And once he really learns, okay, let my instincts take over and I can go play, you'll see him dominate football games defensively.
Play action, the quick slant, incomplete. It looked like J.J. Jones just broke his route off for some reason, and now it's 3rd down and 12.
Notre Dame defensively right now, after that first drive, doing a pretty good job. You know, last series, Mills gets the sack. Now they get the incompletion on 2nd down. This is where they want to live. Just play that consistent, fundamentally sound 7-man box, be physical on the perimeter, and challenge this Carolina offense.
Drake Maye has missed on 4 of his last 5. 4-man rush, quarterback draw. And Leofau, part of the group there to bring him down, as he just about gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
Bobby, really good coaching here. I mean, Leofau is technically a blitzer, and he does an awesome job of just having great feel. This is him right here. Watch how he's ready. Ball gets snapped, and he's like, I'm not just going to go chase the quarterback. Be ready. He's a spy. Slips underneath that block. And then able to bring Drake Maye to the ground. But really good job, awareness of the situation. Don't just go chase ball. Be understanding that Carolina likes to run Drake in that moment.
It looked like Notre Dame may have gotten a piece on the rush. Kiernan got it away and gets a good roll down to about the 17-yard line before it's downed. It is a 44-yard punt, but almost a special teams disaster. So Drew Pyne, the number 13 pocket passing prospect back in 2020 on our ESPN 300, appeared in 6 games his first 2 seasons and began this year as the backup to Tyler Buckner. But Buckner injured in the Marshall game, so Pyne made his first career start last week, and it got off to a rocky beginning, to say the least. He heard about it from Tommy Rees. He heard about it from his head coach. A muffed snap, some missed receivers. They went to the run game, but he definitely hit some throws, Dan, as the game went on, as Logan Diggs gets this drive started. And let's check in with Chris.
There was definitely some nerves, Bob, early in that first start. But if you talk to him and any of his teammates, he doesn't lack for confidence. He's best friends with Michael Mayer, and Mayer said, I haven't need to talk him off a ledge or anything this week. He has been in contact with Brady Quinn. He grew up loving the former Irish quarterback, and the text back and forth just help him get in the right mindset.
Another handoff to Logan Diggs, and another tackle near the line of scrimmage. It will be 3rd down and 8. Chris Collins came up to make the stop.
And there's Tommy Rees, offensive coordinator. I like what Tommy did last week. Try to build a little urgency into Drew Pyne. He said Drew's going to get coached hard, just like all the other quarterbacks that have come before him. And he answered that. I think the big thing for Notre Dame is they got to be better on the line of scrimmage to start this game. They got to move Drew a little bit to help him see the field.
North Carolina brings a blitz. Spinning out of trouble and extending the play is Pyne. He's going to try and run for it. He's got the first down and more. awareness from Drew Pyne as we head back to Kevin Negandhi.
Good afternoon, Bob. Time now for a mayhem moment brought to you by Allstate. Miami in some trouble here with Tyler Van Dyke.
Can't get the ball tipped as a quarterback. Bad things happen.
Yeah, and the big fella picking it off. Nothing like an immobile quarterback like Orlowski chasing you.
Jalen Wood with the pick six. 10-0 Middle Tennessee. Back to you guys. Hi, Dan.
That's perfect. That is Booger and the guys. 8 seconds to go in the quarter. Looks like a buzzer beater. Just before the end of the quarter, sneaking in a Dan Orlovsky insult. I love it.
I can't dispute the fact of I lack athleticism, so I run away from his big butt, though.
To the end of the first quarter. And on that note, North Carolina got it started. It was a 4th and 4 touchdown lob. And they've got the 7-0 lead back after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
See your Carolina Chevy dealers. This hurricane season, trust Severe Weather Center 9 to keep you safe.
Welcome back to ESPN College Football on ABC, presented by Arby's. Set for the start of the second quarter. And North Carolina's defense pitches a shutout in the opening 15 minutes. But it was a first down to end the first quarter for Drew Pyne. Down the sideline, wide open Logan Diggs makes a move. And there's the chunk play that Mac Brown was worried about. Howard Echols eventually tracked down Diggs, but it's a 40-yard gain.
This is what you're going to happen. This is a little bit of a ball movement. This Diggs is going to go down the field, but they're going to slip this backside tight end as well. What happens is this defender gets caught in between. What do I do? All of a sudden, he realizes Diggs down the middle of the sideline or down the sideline, put that defender in conflict. Really good play design by Tommy Rees. Talked about it. Move the pocket a little bit for Drew Pyne. That's a relatively easy throw. Diggs doing a really good job of making sure his eyes are around for that throw.
Logan Diggs suffered a shoulder injury in the spring game. He actually came back earlier than they expected. But they wanted to get him in the game more often this week, and obviously making a 40-yard catch-and-run play here. He's already had an impact as we give you today's Aflac trivia question. Can you name the 5 active FBS head coaches with at least one national title? I think I can. You just count. You can name his names. You're just kind of counting them up in your head.
Well, one of them's here.
Yep.
And one of them's in Tuscaloosa.
Correct.
One of them just won in overtime or double overtime.
Correct. That's 3.
I'll get there, champ.
All right. So after the 40-yard catch and run and Diggs help to the sideline, Tyree the lone setback. He takes the handoff. Inside the 30, pounds his way down to about the 25-yard line. A 9-yard gain on first down.
Jimbo Fisher, number 1, but your word of pound is kind of exactly what Notre Dame wants to do with Marcus Freeman. He even said it himself. We are and have to be an offensive line and defensive line program. And that's the unit they got to lead on. This is a unit that new offensive line coach who comes back, Harry Heiston. They're finally starting to play the brand of ball that he wants. Much better game last week than the first 2 weeks for them. That's exactly what they got to do offensively.
Tyree again has the first down. Chris Collins bumped him out of bounds, but the Irish on the doorstep of the red zone.
You know, Marcus Freeman, I was so impressed talking to him. You know, after the first 3-week start, the Hail Mary finish last week, unwavering. You know, he even said, I can't change who I am, but I got to evaluate everything that we do and the way that we're doing it. And that's the message you want from your head coach in those moments.
Tyree again. Finds room again. And it looks like he's got a first down again. It should be 1st and goal for Notre Dame inside the 10 as Cedric Gray eventually got Chris Tyree on the ground.
Yeah, really good job by the right side, just collapsing. Fisher doing a nice job. The freshman kind of squeezing the right side of that offensive line, left side of that defensive line down. This 3-by-0 set that Notre Dame's in right now is doing a really good job of stretching North Carolina's defense horizontally.
Play action. Wide open is Mayer, and he's going to walk in for a Notre Dame touchdown. Tough to lose track of Michael Mayer, but North Carolina just did. And we're a point after away from a tie.
Well, here's Mayer, and he's going to run what we call a shallow cross. But what happens is the ball fake's going to pull the defender. You put the ball in the belly of the back, and then Mayer replaces that missing linebacker. Awesome job calling that perfect play-action pass right at the right time for Tommy Rees.
The 12th touchdown of Michael Mayer's career. He's now only 3 behind Ken McAfee for the all-time Notre Dame tight end lead. And we are tied at 7. Just over 2 minutes gone by in the second quarter. An 83-yard drive.
And it started with the throw to Logan Diggs, and then you get down in the red zone. You find your big All-American, Michael Mayer. Irish
the back of the end zone. So it's time to answer our Aflac trivia question. Can you name the 5 active FBS head coaches with at least 1 national title? And I think Dan Orlovsky was kind of mumbling his way to 4.
Well, the last one is Kirby.
Okay.
Yeah,
that was the most recent, right? I think I heard you want to name the other 4? You were just kind of counting in your head
Yeah,
earlier.
it's Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, Dabo Swinney. Right. Nick's got 7, Dabo's got 2, Jimbo and Mac.
Not supposed to look at the card.
Never a doubt, Bub.
Caleb Hood, the lone setback, as North Carolina goes back to work. Hood for a gain of about 1 yard. Let's go back to Kevin Nagandi.
Week 4 afternoon games. How about Texas right now? Losing to Texas Tech. That game over on ESPN, ESPN2. Cincinnati and Indiana. Right now, it's the Bearcats up by 14. Ole Miss on the SEC network tied up against Tulsa. On the ACC network, you can't see it. Miami down 17-3. Quite the opposite of Dan's taste. It's spicy down in Coral Gables.
Kobe Basor on a swing pass up the sideline. Maybe for Canes fans, they would rather not see it. That might be best for them to have that game shrouded right now in darkness.
First of all, Nagandi eats vanilla ice cream, and Booker's laugh sounded awful there.
3rd down at 6. Here comes a 4-man rush. Getting through was Leofau. And scrambling was Drake Maye. Jack Kaiser brings him down. At least a couple of yards shy of the first down. So it's another hit delivered by this Notre Dame defense to Drake Maye. And it will be a punt.
It's a really good job, pressure defensively. But we've got to give credit to Notre Dame's defense. They're playing without their signal caller, J.D. Bertrand, and they're doing a good job handling the tempo. After that first drive, they've settled down. They forced Carolina into a bunch of 3rd and longs.
Kiernan gets away a low, wobbly kick. Returnable. And then Joseph made the first man miss, and it'll be pretty good field position at the 33-yard line for Notre Dame. Now a quick word from Cheez-It.
I feel the cheesiest, but the chain puts the extra cheese on the cracker.
It's here. Look at this. It's the cheesiest chain.
This is the cheesiest day of my life.
Cheez-It. Feeling the cheesiest.
So good field position for Notre Dame and a 7-7 tie. Dan, after the identity that they really seemed to lean on last week when Drew Pyne took over at quarterback, took over on that last drive, now how does the North Carolina defense respond?
Yeah, and North Carolina defensively has done a much better job with their eyes. Keying things Notre Dame doing offensively, not giving up big plays. But I think Notre Dame's got to continue to get the ball to 87 like they are right here and get Drew Pyne on the move in their play-action game.
How many teams run a jet sweep with their tight end?
We saw Georgia do it today to Brock Bowers, and he went about 75 for a touchdown. Michael Mayer, so the reason why I think he's the most complete tight end in the college football right now is he's the most willing and able to be a blocker. You can't play really at Notre Dame unless you are. And I think that's the difference probably between him and probably the second best is Brock Bowers. You gotta feel good running to this side. I mean, look at the windows that you have for blockers out on the edge.
Estime right up the middle into the secondary, and there goes Audric Estime. close to the North Carolina 30-yard line before he's finally brought down. Giovanni Biggers made the stop.
And they slice the tight end Sherwood from one side to the other. That split flow. Estime hits it right downhill. Backers go over the top. Really good play design by Tommy Reese, understanding, okay, we got a little bit of a window on that right side that's overflow, and hit him right in between the guard and the center.
29-yard run by Estime. Play action. Shot to the end zone. Touchdown. Lorenzo Styles. Flag down back in the offensive backfield.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 10 on the defense. Result of the play is a touchdown. That penalty being forced on the succeeding kickoff.
Talked about that play action. Good job by Drew Pyne hanging in there. They're going to call that if it's close at the end. But I love the play call. Here's Styles, okay, in the slot, and we're going to get a fake that way. Watch the eyes of that defender. Bad eyes inside. The ball goes over the top.
Notre Dame with a touchdown lead as Drew Pyne caps a 66-yard drive. Played here in Chapel Hill in Monday Night Football. Speaking of the Giants taking on the Cowboys, it comes your way at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, ESPN Plus. Peyton Eli back on ESPN2. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern on ESPN with Monday Night Countdown. There is a bunted kick after the roughing the passer penalty. Gave the Irish a chance to squib it, and still it'll be near the 25-yard line for North Carolina.
Why play action matters. Styles is in the slot. He's got a post, but watch what happens when they go ball fake to Estime horizontally. Cam Kelly right now freeze it. Cam Kelly's playing safety. He's got vision on the back. That allows Styles to run right by him. I love the placement and the trajectory of the throw by Drew Pyne, but you run the football, play action, vision by defenders in the backfield, and then you put the ball over the top. It all happens because the commitment to running the football from Tommy Reese in Notre Dame.
Tunnel screen, Josh Downs, nothing there. The last 3 drives for North Carolina, 11 plays, only 11 yards, and Chris, they're not happy down on that sideline.
Yeah, but Bob, before this possession, Mac Brown called over his entire offensive staff, including coordinator Phil Longo, and lit into them. Longo then went up to Drake Maye, said, I need you to relax, stay poised in the pocket. He was mad about that 3rd down play. He said, if you're going to run, you got to make a faster decision.
Fits one into a tight window here for a first down to Downs. That's a big throw from Drake Maye after a negative on first down.
And they were staring at another 3rd and long. That's the beauty of Josh Downs, though. Just smart enough and subtle enough to get in between the backer and kind of sit in that zone.
And now Amari and Hampton breaking tackles and picking up a first down. A gain of 12. The number 2 touchdown rushing freshman so far this year in college football, and the number 6 yards gained per game on ground for a freshman. Follows his blockers and gets to midfield, a gain of 3. So Notre Dame with a 7-point lead. And coming up later on tonight on ABC, Wisconsin, Ohio State, 7:30 Eastern at the Horseshoe. Badgers have a chance to stick in that one with the Buckeyes.
Gonna have to make sure that they don't give up big plays. You know, play shell defense like Notre Dame did week 1, candidly.
Hampton again. Popped by Leofow. Still picked up about 4.
The big difference between Carolina this year and really last year is their offensive line. And the offensive line, who's got a new offensive line coach in Jack Bicknell Jr., they're not catching anybody on the defense. They're really doing a much better job of firing off the football and trying to change the line of scrimmage. You know, in these 3rd and 3 situations, we've seen it down in the red zone. You're really going to start right here with Josh Downs. Is there a matchup that you love in man-to-man coverage, him versus Bracey in the slot?
Maye takes a shot down the sideline. It's holding. J.J. Jones to the 3-yard line.
It's a great job at the bottom of the screen by Jones. Downs isn't there. Give your guy a chance to go make a play on the true freshman, Jaden Mickey. A little bit of a shove off there when the ball's in the air, but really good job adjusting to that throw and taking advantage of a freshman out there.
Maye on a keeper. Out to the edge. He'll throw it away. Being chased by Brandon Joseph, the Northwestern transfer. And he did not have Downs open on the right side of the end zone. So you like that move by the redshirt freshman.
Yeah, I mean, so often in those moments, because tempo too, you have so much kind of energy going and you feel like I gotta go make the play right now, and really good right decision making by Maye. Kick that ball away.
Bryson Nesbitt, the 6'5" tight end, in the slot right. There's the slant, intended for Nesbitt, and it's knocked away. Xavier Watts on an island with Nesbitt, and he won that battle.
And that looks pretty clean to me. I can't see the right arm on the backside of Nesbitt, but that looks like a pretty good job of Watts kind of avoiding contact and scraping over the top with the left. Remember, this last time Carolina was in this situation, they were aggressive and went for it. They went to Josh Downs the last time.
Play clock down to 8 as they get set for 3rd down and goal. Play clock down to 4. They get the snap off. Maye lobs one wide open as Downs. He's got another touchdown for Josh Downs.
Watch Copenhaver. He's going to come down and run his route, and Downs is going to go in and then out. The defender covering Downs is going to get lost. Trying to run his route right there. Very beautiful job of Downs kind of separating right as that man coverage got picked. Beautiful job. Play call by Phil Longo. Take advantage of man coverage and allowing your best receiver to win.
Downs had 2 touchdowns on opening day before getting hurt. Redshirt freshman quarterback Drake Maye leads a touchdown drive right after getting an earful from his head coach. And the rest of that offense on the sideline as Jonathan Kim will put one to the corner of the end zone. It will go through the back for a touchback, and we check in with Kevin.
Bob, time now for our AT&T 5G studio update. Knoxville rocking here. Dan Anthony Richardson, 1 touchdown in the air and then 1 on the ground.
On the quarterback sweep here, using his strength to get to the edge. Great blocking to seal the edge. Walks it in.
And the extra point good right now, 14-10. Bullock, what do you think of this score with Miami?
The U is not back.
No, it's not.
I'll just leave it at that.
Plenty of time left in the first half. Down 21 to Middle Tennessee. That game on the ACC network. Back to you guys.
Yikes.
That's crazy.
I mean, still a lot of time left for Miami to try to come back, but Booger's right. The U is not back. It's the play fake to Tyree, rolls Pyne out, and a good decision as he throws it away under duress from the rushing power Eccles. Well, the Irish got off to a slow start on offense, missing a field goal on their second possession, but back-to-back touchdown drives. And Tommy Rees right now leaning on the physicality of that offensive line.
Yeah, and getting the quarterback on the move, which I've really liked.
Tyree. How about the physicality of the runner? As he gets hit at the line of scrimmage and still manages 5 yards. Pulled down by Noah Taylor. 3rd down and 5.
You know, last time Notre Dame had 3rd down, North Carolina played a 3-man front, tried to play man coverage, and you saw Drew Pyne have enough time to scramble around and go make a play. If I'm North Carolina, I'm coming after him. I'm doubling 87 Michael Mayer and saying, Notre Dame, you got to find somebody else to beat us. There's Mayer right here.
Pitch and catch first down, though, for Jaden Thomas. And he spins out across the 40 to the 43-yard line.
This is something you saw in North Carolina defensively for the first 3 weeks. Guys out of position. I mean, it's 3rd and 5. They motion Thomas down. This is Gene Chizik right here. That's the defensive play caller. They motion Thomas. No one's within 10 yards of him. And that's not by design. That's a lack of focus, a lack of eye discipline, a lack of communication on that kind of back end of their defense.
Tyree behind Maye. Into the secondary again. Picks up 20 as Cam Kelly eventually brought him down, but not until he got to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, really nice job with the pullers for Notre Dame. Patterson pulls out, leads the way, and Michael Mayer then steps in, and then Tyree the Jet follows it. I think what's happening right now is North Carolina is playing nickel, so 5 defensive backs on the field. Tommy Rees is putting tight ends on the field and saying, we are going to use a tight end to block your little defender in a defensive back. And that right now is benefiting Notre Dame's run game.
Now it's Logan Diggs trying to get the edge and turn the corner, and does. Another Notre Dame first down. To the 21-yard line of North Carolina. 17 more on the ground as Cedric Gray eventually made the stop.
Watch the split flow. Mayer leaves. The backers follow. We get outside. And Diggs making some people miss in the open field. Notre Dame's got stuff in their run game right now. The big bodies playing against nickel defenders, and then the split flow. They're taking Mayer from one side of the ball, slicing him to the other side. It forces the linebackers to have to see a lot, and that's really allowing them to control the second level.
107 yards rushing for Notre Dame. And we still have 4 minutes to go in the first half. There's some play action on the fake. There's Mayer to the 10-yard line. Down to the 5-yard line. Back in his way, close to the 2. First and goal for Notre Dame.
Really nice job. What happens? They're going to take that back and release him out. Here comes Mayer. Now watch this linebacker on this ball fake right here. You're gone because you're paying attention to the ball fake. Replace him with the tight end. And then the physicality from the big fella. And Tommy Rees is right now in a real good rhythm, play calling wise for Notre Dame. You're seeing the sprinkle, right? The sprinkle of run game, play action, movement, bootleg, easy throws for your quarterback.
It looks like Notre Dame is going to let the play clock wind all the way down and call a timeout. And there it is with 3:18 to go in the first half. First and goal for the Irish when we come back to Chapel Hill. And you would have to think this probably Michael Mayer territory.
I would throw it here if I'm Notre Dame with what the box looks like.
Instead, they'll run it with Estime. He gets to the 1. Bohasic tripped him up. It'll be second down and goal inside the 1.
You know, they brought Michael Mayer from, I've talked about this, the split flow, the slice. This is a great opportunity to line him up on one side of the football and then slice him back across, move your quarterback out of the pocket. You get one of those pick or rub plays, and it's an easy dump off in the flat.
They're going to let the clock wind down.
Good clock right now.
They can as well. Again, Estime is the back. They'll run it again, and he will walk into the end zone. An easy Notre Dame touchdown.
Really good drive by Notre Dame offensively. Finishing it off with Estime. There's that split flow zone. Showed up. Really nice job on the left side, Alt, and reared in the freshman tight end, just mauling North Carolina defensively on front.
The Irish with 3 consecutive touchdown drives as we head back to Kevin.
Bob, thank you. State Farm halftime report just minutes away. Dan Mullen, Booger McFarland, Kevin Nagandi. What are you seeing right now from Notre Dame's offense?
I just love the way the offensive line is starting to control the game, the physicality of the running game.
Okay, physicality, we're seeing a lot of that in Knoxville. What do you see from Florida?
Well, I'll tell you what, they're playing confidently in Tennessee in the back of their mind, thinking 16 of 17 they've lost. They got to get over that hump.
Highlights coming your way. Plus, what is going on in South Florida with Miami down 3 touchdowns? Back to you.
All right, Kev, thanks very much. 3 straight touchdown drives for Marcus Freeman's team. And Dan, all 3 of those drives, it's funny, they started with a short field 4 possessions ago at the plus 43-yard line.
Did nothing, right?
Missed a field goal and didn't move the ball. The last 3 drives, 83 yards, 66 yards, 75 yards, all for touchdowns.
Yeah, remember we started the game, we said Tommy Rees, the play caller, was going to give a bunch of different formations and personnels to figure out how North Carolina was going to align to it. I think he's got some information. That's why you've seen these last 3 drives work so well.
There is a fair catch called for by Hampton, so that will come out to the 25-yard line as we take a look at the AP college football rankings brought to you by Verbo. And Georgia, more trouble than you would have thought with Kent State. That game a little closer than you might have expected. Michigan survives as well against Maryland, and that Clemson-Wake Forest game was a lot of fun to watch.
Wake Forest is legit, and Sam Hartman's one of the toughest players you're going to come across, and their offense is so unique, as so many ACC fans know. Gained a lot of respect from Clemson, surely, and nationally how well they played them.
Play clock winding down as Drake Maye takes the snap. He'll go play action on first down. And throws a wobbly one that goes right through the hands of Antoine Green. And taking another shot as the pocket collapsed was Drake Maye.
That's a pretty big shot Drake Maye takes. That ball just guts right over the outstretched arms of Cam Hart. Got to be smart here if you're Drake Maye. You got plenty of time, 3 timeouts. You've been in this situation so much this season.
4-man rush, inaccurate on the check down. He threw it right down at the feet of DJ Jones. And now it's 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, rushed it a little bit as well. Okay, Notre Dame defensively on 3rd down has decided to come after Carolina. Last time we saw the shot down the field to J.J. Jones. Going to play zone here. Got really good eyes if you're Drake Maye.
And with a timeout and 2.5 minutes on the clock, you can see Drew Pyne's hoping for another chance. Maye, a shot down the sideline, one-on-one, incomplete. That one off the fingertips of Antoine Green. Cam Hart, step for step in coverage. And plenty of time for Notre Dame to score again before halftime.
North Carolina takes their shot. Cam Hart playing with his back to the football. Green runs right by him. It's a beautiful throw by Drake Maye, just out off the fingertips of Antoine Green, who's their speedster. Beautiful throw by Drake Maye. I like the aggressive play call.
So Kiernan to punt, Joseph to receive. High snap. Kiernan gets away a line drive. Joseph, a fair catch. Back to his own 26-yard line. A 50-yard punt. And Saturday Night Football is on the way. Presented by Capital One. In the shoe, number 3 Ohio State and Wisconsin start their respective Big Ten seasons. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, Ollie Rowe, they'll be there. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC, as well as the ESPN app. And Ohio State, it's 2019, an offensive machine.
I mean, they got one of the best wide receiver, if not the best wide receiver coach in all college football, and Brian Hartline. They've pumped dudes to the league on the perimeter. C.J. Stroud is often awesome. Henderson's great. Talented group.
Pyne back to throw. Sets up the screen to Tyree. And that's a good tackle about a yard behind the line of scrimmage made by Noah Taylor. And Dan, this is a very important series for the North Carolina defense. Remember, Notre Dame deferred. They'll start the 3rd quarter with the football. Well, they put another touchdown on the board here before halftime, and they start the 3rd with the ball. North Carolina needs a stop. And there's Braden Lindsey showing up for the first time. And that will stop the clock at the 32-yard line. Set up 3rd down and 4.
The big thing for Carolina right now is just their eye discipline. Put your eyes where they're supposed to be. Read your keys exactly. You got to know Notre Dame is going to start this play call with number 87, Michael Mayer. Making sure that you got exactly the guy that you want on. Remember, last time we had 3rd and 5, they weren't anywhere near Jaden Thomas. Make this a little bit of a tougher throw on Drew Pyne. Make him feel color versus the target he's going to try to throw to.
He's got Estime in the backfield. 3rd down and 4. Mayer goes in motion. Blitz off the edge. Mayer makes the catch again. Another 3rd down conversion for Notre Dame out to midfield.
Traditional concept. You get him into the bunch. You clear off coverage. All they did was give Michael Mayer an option route. In or out. Beautiful read.
Pyne right back to throw. Out to Lindsey. About a 6-yard down and out. Again, the Irish with plenty of time on the clock. 1.5 minutes, and they still have a timeout.
And Bob, right now, big thing for Drew Pyne. Get the ball out of your hands like you're doing. No sacks, okay? Any completion is fine. If you're the person who gets the ball for Notre Dame offensively, outside the numbers, get out of bounds. Inside the numbers, you're trying to get down the field as much as you can.
And now North Carolina will call a timeout on defense with 1:28 to go in the first half. Well, this season, Allstate will celebrate every field goal and extra point made by participating universities by donating to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you to Allstate.
You know, always in these situations, the number one conversation you have is where do we have to get to yard line wise to get a kick off? That's the number one thing. Then number 2 thing is understanding timeouts. And again, if you catch that ball, if you're Notre Dame and you're in between the numbers, you don't have to worry about getting out of bounds because 1:28 with 3 timeouts and the stoppage of the clock after first down, you're trying to get as many yards as you can. Now, outside the numbers, let's get out of bounds to allow us to huddle. That's the really big deal.
Blake Ruby has 50-yard range, so that means you want to get to about the 32 or 33-yard line or so. You could see the field goal range line talking to their coaches. They're comfortable if they get him to the 35, so he'd be kicking probably from the 51, 52-yard range.
I don't like how soft they are here, Mayer. They're just giving him so much cushion.
Pyne looks up the seam. Instead, a deep shot for Lindsey. Incomplete. Storm duck. Pretty good coverage. And here's a big play. 3rd down and 5 at the North Carolina 47-yard line.
And this is all about Tommy Rees, their play caller, and the formation that he wants to get into. I've said it 3 or 4 times already. They are going to get Mayer in a formation that's going to give him free release, a matchup, the opportunity to run off of leverage. I'd advise him. I would double him and make sure he's not going to go get this first down conversion. He's right here in the slot.
Notre Dame is 4 for 6 on 3rd down. Carolina showing blitz. It's a run instead to Diggs. He's got the first down right up the middle. And they had to quickly get reset. Almost a shifting penalty. So a couple of guys went in motion. Mayer, one of them, just before the snap.
Bob, they sent 3 guys to Mayer. Great adjustment by Tommy Rees. 3 guys, ball gets snapped. They run out to Michael Mayer. You hand it off. Your offensive line easily pushes the line of scrimmage.
Pyne scanning the field. He'll tuck it under. Down the sideline to Mayer. He missed him. Wide open. He got to the line of scrimmage, pulled back, delayed, and stayed on his side of the line. And Mayer was wide open, and Pyne just missed him.
Yeah, just missed him. He does a great job. Hang in the pocket. Awesome job by protection. Now get out. Eyes downfield. He's going to get mad at himself for that one, man. That's the tough play. You just got to move on from it in this situation. 57 seconds left to go on to the next play. That's a big growth moment for Drew Pyne in real time.
Four-man rush. Mayer reaches up to make another catch and reaches the ball out. I think That is good enough for a Notre Dame first down.
Dude, how good is this dude, man? I mean, I talked to a couple plays ago with that soft cushion. You saw it again. He runs the out route. Beautiful ball placement by Drew Pyne. Strong hands. Again.
The Irish preserve the timeout. Little wheel route down the sideline as Tyree makes the catch and gets out of bounds. Picks up 4 more. So 39 seconds to go in the half. And Notre Dame does have 1 timeout left.
So you're already in field goal range. That's the big thing in your mind. Mayer's taking a wind break, so that's going to change your play call here. But you're in your mind right now, we've already done our #1 goal. The big thing now is don't hurt yourself.
Back shoulder throw, but out of bounds. Lorenzo Styles was at least 2 or 3 yards out of bounds. Walled off by Tony Grimes. That'll bring Michael Mayer back in for another 3rd down.
And for North Carolina defensively, the question really is who can cover 87. That's the big challenge right now, is who do you feel good if you're going to play man coverage that you believe if we line him up one-on-one, he can lock him down. So I think this guy's going to blow out of there. His back could be really good one-on-one with the backer.
Only a 3-man rush. That gives Pyne all kinds of time to extend the play. He's going to run to the sideline and get bumped out short of the line to gain. Will Hardy, the freshman safety, came up to knock Drew Pyne out. So it's 4th down at about 1.5 yards. Well inside field goal range.
I think you go for it if you're Notre Dame. At least you go to the line of scrimmage with the formation. See if you can get North Carolina to jump off sides. You always have that timeout in your bag if you don't feel good about your play formation.
He's going to call the timeout here. So an interesting decision to call the timeout already with the clock stopped. If you do go for it, you'd probably still like to have that timeout in your pocket with a fresh set of downs.
For sure. I would have loved to see them just get in formation, get to the line of scrimmage, see if you can get Carolina to jump, with the hard count. And if they don't jump and the clock's winding down, then you can pop that timeout and kind of have the discussion of what do we want to do. Now, to your point, if they go for it, clock will stop quickly. You got to be ready to spike the ball on 1st down to make sure that you can get 2 or 3 plays off.
But having that timeout would, at some point, you think, at least save you 1,
it's
maybe
huge.
2 downs.
It's huge.
So they make the timeout call here.
I wonder if they kick it now.
And a field goal, you just add to your lead, and you also start the 3rd quarter with the football. So Notre Dame right now has all the momentum.
For sure. My assumption is that now that they've called that timeout, they're going to go kick that field goal and say, let's make this decision and the proper kind of routine and execution for their special teams unit.
And they will, after calling the timeout, simply send the field goal group out. And Groupie will try from 40. He missed his first attempt from 44 back in the 1st quarter. But this one, he's got. So Notre Dame now has scored points on their last 4 consecutive possessions to open up a 10-point lead.
Really good drive by Drew Pyne. Tommy Reese, their play caller, Groupie nails it right in between the uprights. You got to be pleased, really, if you're North Carolina defensively, because they had ripped off some chunks right there, and you're starting real saying we can't fall down 14 going into half.
Well, you're in North Carolina defensively. Where are you finding answers for this guy?
And they've done everything they can to get him the football. We saw a little bit of a jet sweep, getting him the football in space. He's ran one-on-one option routes. How great are his hands in contested areas? Red zone, fully out extended stretch. I mean, they have utilized so many different ways to get him the football. He's been a huge part of their offense. 6 catches, 68 yards, and a touchdown.
He was a semifinalist for the Mackey Award last year. Hard to imagine he's not going to be at the least a finalist this year, if not win the award.
Just think about this. Everything they do offensively starts with him. I mean, the pressure to go perform, to give your team the absolute best chance to win is completely on his shoulders.
Well, coming up this week on Sunday, NFL Countdown, a one-on-one with Josh Allen before the Bills take on the Dolphins, plus Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady square off. Some of the game's greatest defenders share what it's like to try and stop those two. Kick off your Sunday with NFL Countdown at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. Tomorrow, you had a front row seat to watch Josh Allen on Monday night. Not too shabby.
Man, he is.
He can play.
He is as impressive as a player and a kid. I mean, one of the faces of the league, certainly the face of the Buffalo Bills. I'll be shocked if that team's not in the AFC Championship. They're that impressive.
Let's see how frisky Mac Brown and Phil Longo get with their play calling here. They do have a couple of timeouts, and they'll run a draw with George Pettaway. Notre Dame was ready for it. That's the conservative call on first down. Let's see if we pop a run and then maybe put the ball in the air, but they're not going to take any chances after that was shut down. So it will be a 10-point lead at halftime for Notre Dame. So Mac Brown is going to have to find some answers, especially defensively. 24 points in the second quarter for Notre Dame. When we come back, Kevin Nagandi, Booker McFarland, Dan Mullen will have the State Farm halftime report after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Throw by Drew Pyne, and then down in the red zone. We've talked about him a bunch so far this afternoon. Ball fake. Michael Mayer, 87, continues to be a dominant force. Drew Pyne, man, we got to give him some credit. You know, he's started off last week shakily, and he has been fantastic so far this first half.
And here he is on a rollout, slips one to Jayden Thomas. And that's a catch and run first down. Chris Budden.
Coach, you guys scored on your last 4 possessions. What have you thought of the way that Drew's managed the offense in the first half?
It's been good to see him play with some confidence, go out there and execute. We got guys all over the field that are making plays, and that's what we have to do to be successful.
You get J.D. Bertrand back this second half. What do you need out of your defense to limit UNC?
Continue to execute. You know, we cannot keep giving up the big plays, and that's the thing that has been our Achilles here. We got to make sure that we eliminate the big plays offensively versus them, and just do your job.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, Chris.
Obviously, that was a moment ago, and I'm sure he's thinking finish, right? Last week, they found a way to win the game and get that first win of the season. And North Carolina just trying to get a stop to slow down an offense that has scored the last 4 times they've had the ball. There goes Tyree. The jump cut to midfield. Another Notre Dame first down.
Man, Notre Dame's offensive line is just starting to lean, even to start this second half. 2 throws, or come out quick throw, and then 2 runs right behind the right side of that offensive line. Fisher doing a good job. Lugg doing a job. Gene Chizik, their defensive play caller for Carolina, trying to figure out how to slow what's become a kind of diversified attack for Notre Dame.
Tyree again. Noah Taylor makes the stop after a gain of only 2. And Taylor lost his helmet, so he's going to have to come out, as this is a defense that has struggled. They are on the way to giving up another, it seems, big yardage day. Already 139 yards rushing for Notre Dame.
And they're in a little bit of a transition phase under Mac Brown, because their defensive coordinator, Jade Bateman, no longer here, was a big blitz guy. Now Gene Chizik brings this fundamentally sound-based defense, and it's taking them some time to get used to doing that on a consistent basis.
4-man rush, another out route, and another missed tackle as Lorenzo Styles inside the 30, bumped out by Power Echols, picks up a first down.
But Bob, I mean, we're 11 yards off here. All he's going to do is run a quick out route. This is easy. We heard the phrase pitch and catch. That's literally what it is. We've seen that multiple times by the number 3 receiver, where we're playing 11 yards off him. If I'm an offensive play caller, if I'm the quarterback, that is so easy for me. All I have to do is catch the ball, make sure it's an easy throw. They got to get up into these Notre Dame receivers, start contesting some of these throws, because right now it's too easy for the quarterback.
Play action. Pyne down the sideline, wide open. A busted coverage and an easy touchdown for Logan Diggs. does not get much easier than that for Drew Pyne.
I really watched the lack of communication. What you're going to do is you're going to run off, and then here comes the back down the sideline. But everybody for Carolina is running this way, and no one is paying attention to the back. But you saw what Notre Dame did, right? Easy completion, play with tempo. That's something Carolina defensively has struggled with all season, and Notre Dame offensively took advantage of it.
Notre Dame is executing, but for Tommy Rees, there have been some play designs today that have been magnificent, and this is one of them. Completely fooling the heels. Higgs with the touchdown. And Marcus Freeman, after watching his team lose back-to-back games to start the season, get a tough, hard-fought win at home against Cal last week. And this is by far the best execution that he has seen from his offense this season.
I think you're seeing the kind of the energy of Notre Dame from game one, Ohio State, and execution of the second half of last week.
Let's take a look at North Carolina co-defensive coordinator and defensive backs coach Charlton Warren as we honor those who serve. Brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. In the mid to late 90s, Warren was a standout defensive back at the Air Force Academy. After graduation in 1999, he spent 10 years of active duty as a commissioned officer, achieving the rank of major. He left the service in 2009 to pursue coaching full-time at his alma mater, and he has been in coaching ever since. And now part of Mac Brown's staff at North Carolina. The blitz comes up the middle. Losing the football is Maye. Tried to avoid the rush. J.D. Bertrand came right up the middle and caused havoc. And it's a takeaway as Justin Ademilola ends up with Drake Maye drop.
I want you guys to see Bertrand fires. You're going to drop. This is a change pressure. The back is now taken by the hot. Bertrand comes unblocked. Really good job by Notre Dame. That's the challenge, is when that guy comes unblocked, you want to throw it to the back. Drake Maye trying to get away and just loose with the ball. Remember we talked about Bob a little bit. He's so talented, but the mechanics, the fundamentals got away from them there. But that's an Al Golden defensive coordinator special. Change pressure, take the hot answer away.
False start as Blake Fisher took a step back at right tackle.
False start. Offense, number 54. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
They are so high on 54. Blake Fisher really only started, 3 or 4 games in his career. He's got everything, probably the most talented of their up front unit. When he puts it all together, him on the right side and 76, Joe Alt on the left side, who's only started 8 or 9 games, they're going to be the backbone of this offensive line.
That was the first Notre Dame penalty. Pyne to throw. Again, the out route works. Lorenzo Styles. Inside the 10, out of bounds at the 9-yard line. It'll be second down and 4.
There's that easy throw for this Notre Dame offense. Really just working that number 3 receiver. You got to start playing some type of flat coverage out there if you're North Carolina to really restrict that.
To the end zone for Maye. Along the sideline, out of bounds. It looked like he came down with the football, but the officials say, as he was battling Storm Duck, that he did not get a foot down in the end zone.
Really good one-on-one competition right here. Mayer goes up. Duck continues to fight for the football. Yeah, it just popped out from that left hip right there. Really good competition on the ball between those two players. I think this ball is going to hit the ground.
I'm not sure if it ever hit the ground, but I think his heel was on the sideline.
You're going to think this left heel?
It looks like
right heel.
They are going to review. Looks like he was able to secure the ball and keep it from hitting the ground, but does he have complete control of it when his heel hits the chalk? Right there, I think he's out of bounds. I think his control is probably irrelevant. I don't think he got the full foot down. Remember, when you're heading backwards, that heel has to land in bounds as well. If
and
you're
you
going
don't see any
forwards, you
blue.
can just drag the toe.
You know, there's no blue between his cleat and the white of the out of bounds. It's a great catch either way, man. They called it incomplete. I don't think there's enough video evidence to sit here and say.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
So it will be 3rd down and 4 from the 9-yard line. And this is a huge play, you would think, from a defensive standpoint for North Carolina. You are just trying to hang in this game.
Gives you the chance to keep it a 3-score game and at least potentially force a field goal, but this is what I love for Notre Dame right now. This bunch concept. They're going to give Michael Mayer the option. They're going to try to run off coverage. He's going to run away from leverage. Right here. They're going to give him the option to run away from leverage. The ball is going to start to him.
Blitz coming. Pyne well protected. Tucks it under. Throws it back to the left. And he's got the first down. Matt Salerno came free. His first catch. And a 3rd down conversion down to the 2-yard line to make it 1st and goal.
Absolutely love that read by Drew Pyne. He wanted to force that ball to Michael Mayer. Credit Carolina finally decided to cover him. Resets to Salerno, and really good job by Salerno getting downfield. Run off the left side of your offensive line.
Estime runs right and gets shut down. Tackle for loss. Ohasek in the backfield to make the stop. It'll be 2nd down and goal at the 3.
I want to see them run off the left side. 76 Alt and 55 Patterson have done such a good job of denting the defense. We've seen that when they bring a tight end scraped across the line of scrimmage. I think you run off the left side of your offensive line.
Pyne missed the crosser. He was looking for Braden Lindsey, who was open at the goal line. And another 3rd down chance for the North Carolina defense to get a stop. Notre Dame is 6 for 9 on 3rd down.
So many have been short distance. That's allowed Tommy Rees to really build and design a play for a certain or specific person. If I'm Notre Dame, I'm thinking about 4-down territory right now.
A rollout for Pyne. Bullets one into the end zone. It's incomplete. And now it is 4th and goal at the 3-yard line. Jayton Thomas was the intended receiver. And it looks like some big bodies are running in from the sideline. They are going to go for it from the 3.
And I like this. We've talked about Carolina's explosive offense. You just stole this possession because of the fumble by Drake Maye. I'd love to see them take Michael Mayer, put him out by himself. If it's one-on-one, give him the option to win on his route. If they're playing zone coverage, you can work a concept backside away from him, low to high.
They line up in a straight I formation with Chris Tyree as the I-back, but it looks like North Carolina has to call a timeout from the sideline as they were late running players in. So we'll step aside before 4th and goal. Had to be talked off the ledge a little bit, but surviving and winning a game last week and a dominant performance along the line of scrimmage this week as we go back to Kevin Negandhi.
Bob, following a few games here, Texas up by 7 on Texas A&M. That game's on ESPN, ESPNU. You got UCF over Georgia Tech. Tyler Van Dyke has been benched. Middle Tennessee still leading at Miami, but that lead is shrinking. That game on the ACC network. And how about on ESPN Plus? James Madison was down 28-3, now up 32-28 against App State. Our game coming your way. Heisman favorite C.J. Stroud looking clean there, bud.
What about a Heisman outfit? That's what you call swag right there. Something Dan Orlowski has never had. Swag and no interceptions on the season.
Dog, your name is Booger. You don't know what swag, even the definition of it is.
It's just all the venom's uncomfortable. So North Carolina running only their 9th play offensively of the second half. They fumbled to start off the 3rd quarter, their first possession. Then a 6-play drive that resulted in a punt, then a 1-play shot. for a touchdown, but they just have not had their offense on the field much here in the second half. 2nd down and 8. Maye up the middle. And he gets knocked down. And as he was going down, it looked like the North Carolina sideline wanted him to be given the quarterback protection benefit of the doubt. But he takes another hit right there by Prince Kollie. Third down and 3. Only a 3-man rush. And there is a first down hookup to Antoine Green.
That's where they haven't been enough today, right? That's really the difference. Notre Dame's been so many 3rd and shorts. Carolina's been so many 3rd and longs. 3rd and 3 so much easier to convert.
Seam shot. And a big hit on Nesbitt and a flag out. Nesbitt held onto the football, and J.T. Bertrand. He was hit with a targeting penalty in the final minute of the game last week. Missed the first half of this game.
Personal foul. Targeting. Defense number 27. 15-yard penalty. Previous plays under further review.
And this would be his 2nd targeting foul in as many weeks.
First of all, it's a sick throw by Drake Maye and a great catch by Nesbitt. Let's watch this. J.T. Bertrand driving on that seam. Looks like contact on the shoulder. Take another look.
Let's take another look.
I can't disagree more. I think it's an awful call. He hits him. I can see the stickers on the back of the helmet. First contact is made from his face mask right onto the right shoulder of Nesbitt. Listen, I'm happy Nesbitt's fine. It's a phenomenal catch. There's no crown of the helmet, and there's no contact on his neck or head. I think it's an awful call.
Stepping up is Maye. And Maye will go down. There is a sack. The 2nd of the day for Riley Mills. It was very close. Again, I would say, to play devil's advocate, targeting, hitting a defenseless player with forcible contact to the head or neck area. Like, what they want you to do is stick your shoulder in his midsection and not come anywhere near his head. As throwing one right to the first down line to gain is Drake Maye.
I mean,
fit that into a tight window to Josh Downs.
Nesbitt is 6'5". J.T. Bertrand is 6'1". He naturally is going to have contact right underneath his chin area. I mean, what more do we want these guys to do?
Yeah, they want him to go lower is what they want. They want you to change the strike zone so the guy's head doesn't get hit. And I agree, it was very close as Pettaway on 3rd down and 1 comes up short. It's going to be 4th down for North Carolina.
Last thing I'm going to say about it. We should not be kicking kids out and calling targeting on close calls. It should be obvious calls.
So North Carolina has to go for it on 4th down and less than 1. There's a quarterback sneak. And picking up the first down is Drake Maye. Flag down on the near side.
Offside. Defense. Penalty is 5 yards. Results of the play. First down.
So it turns out Notre Dame is going to hand a free 5 to North Carolina regardless, and that will make it 1st and goal.
And you got to play through the air right now if you're Carolina. I mean, every second is going to matter. You can't think about handing the ball off. You got to put the ball in the air and see if Josh Downs, Blackwell can win a one-on-one matchup on the outside.
Maye into the end zone, incomplete. Another flag down. Tried for the back shoulder of Gavin Blackwell. And that flag thrown about 2 yards into the end zone.
Defense number 18. Penalties half the distance to the goal. Carries an automatic first down.
Brandon Joseph was actually called for the foul. Now it is 1st and goal from just inside the 5.
I still don't think you can run the football here. I still think it's got to be a throw game just because every single second for Carolina matters offensively. Downs right here, little pick versus man.
A rollout for Maye. Into the end zone, incomplete for Nesbitt. Had him open, running from left to right to that back corner, but just led him a bit too far.
That's the second time these two have just missed right down in the red zone, running away from pressure. Floats that ball out to Nesbitt, just outside of his reach. Tough throw, rolling to your right when that defender's sitting in your back pocket.
Swing pass to Amari and Hampton. He's looking for the pylon. Over the top of it. No signal yet. Yes, it is a Carolina touchdown. The freshman just able to sneak the ball over the pylon.
It's a really good design. You run the defense away. Nesbitt just stands there for space. Hampton, I love the fact that the ball stays in his left hand. Right, the ending of the Auburn-Missouri game. Missouri back reaches out, slips out of his hands. Left foot stays in, ball crosses the pylon. Yeah, great job by the freshman.
So they are going to go for 2 to try and get the lead down to 17 with 9:47 to go. Two-point conversion attempt again for North Carolina. Maye with DJ Jones to his left. Floats one, incomplete for Nesbitt. He was hoping for a flag, nothing comes out. The freshman Jaden Mickey knocked away from Bryson Nesbitt. So it is still a 3-score game at 19, the deficit. 4th touchdown pass for Drake Maye. Team out there for Notre Dame, but Carolina kicks it deep. And they're going to ask their defense to go make a stop. They have not been able to do that with the physicality of that offensive line for Notre Dame as we go back to Kevin.
Let's go to South Florida, Bob. Middle Tennessee stops Miami on 4th and goal at the 1. So the first play for the Blue Raiders, Chase Cunningham, the DJ England Chisholm.
I love it. Take a shot. When you're back up to the wall, you take a shot, maybe get a PI, or you hit the home run.
Miami's secondary's been torched this entire game. How will they respond? Well, it's Keyshawn Smith giving them life on special teams. He'll go to the house on the ensuing kickoff. Right now, Middle Tennessee up 38-24 early in the 4th ACC network.
So Miami not done yet as Estime starts this drive for Notre Dame. Across the 30. He is tough to bring down. Boy, a lot of sky blue jerseys it takes to turn away Audric Estime as he picks up 8 yards. Don Chapman was the last to make contact for North Carolina.
You know, Estime with this offensive line and the way that they've used their tight ends, Davis Sherwood and Michael Mayer, with this zone and really crossing the line of scrimmage. It's been so impressive to watch. What that does, Bob, is it creates angles for guys. Instead of the tackle having to block out, he could block down and just wash people away because that tight end's coming to kick out end man on the line of scrimmage type of stuff. They've ran it to perfection today.
Estime, first down. Now watching from the North Carolina sideline, down by 19 with 9 minutes to go. I'm not sure onside kick wouldn't have been the wrong call there, because do you believe, if you're Mack Brown right now, that your defense can get a stop? He kicked it deep, and he's going to ask them to try and at some point give the ball back to his offense, but Notre Dame working on the clock now.
We saw him be ultra aggressive with the 4th down call to start the game. Notre Dame's got 511 yards today. They've ran the ball for almost 230 yards. They're getting 7 yards of play. Right now, they've got to get these guys just firing downhill on these run stunts to try to create a negative play.
Lorenzo Styles. 6 more on first down. And again, Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One in the shoe. Ohio State, Wisconsin, as the Big Ten seasons for both will get underway tonight. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, Ollie Rowe standing by at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC, as well as the ESPN app. And C.J. Stroud, I take those numbers over the last couple of games.
I'm telling you, their receivers are. CJ's a phenomenal player. I mean, going to be a top 10 pick in the draft, likely. I mean, Jackson Smith-Njigba is a superstar. Marvin Harrison Jr. I was texting with Dane Bugler, who does a great job with draft prep, and he was saying Marvin Harrison Jr., if he could come out of the draft, would go before Smith-Njigba.
Look at this run by Estime. A bowling ball down to the 42-yard line of North Carolina for 16 more yards.
How good is this by this Notre Dame? Just pushed. See the double team? Do you see that collapse off the left side of the line, man? I mean, we're talking Slays and Joe Alt. Look at this. Just watch the left side of your screen. I mean, that is 7-8 yards downfield before getting touched. This is what looks like Notre Dame. You know, candidly, that's big offensive linemen, big tight ends that can get in the run game and really start to lean on people.
Audric Estime had 100 yards from scrimmage for the first time in his career last week. This is his first 100-yard rushing game. Hard to think it's going to be his last, as he's now up to 104 with that last carry.
Estime's a great story, man. You know, from Haiti, he's never been back. Such an important part of his family was how they helped him grow up. He loves to draw, loves to sketch, he loves movies, loves to cook. Guess what his favorite meal to cook is? I'm going to give you one guess. It's my favorite meal. It's the best Italian dish ever created.
Chicken parm.
Attaboy.
You could hang out with our hockey crew. He also lost his mom to sickle cell anemia back in 2013, was raised by his aunt, who became his rock. Logan Diggs for a yard. That'll take us under 6 minutes to go as Desmond Evans made the stop. And Estime comes right back in.
You got to love stories like that.
Yep.
You know, obviously tragedy with his mother passing, but the family does such an incredible job of raising this young man, and he goes to Notre Dame on a football scholarship. His dreams to go play in the NFL, but he's not just a football player. He's got all these other interests. He's a well-rounded young man.
Pyne on a keeper on third down, gets to the sideline, cruises for the first down. As he takes a knee at the 30, it's another third down conversion for the Irish with 5.5 to go.
Well, you got so many people. Evans committing to the run, naturally sell out to try to stop this run game. You wrap the tight end, Sherwood around. Pyne realizes first down, get down and don't take any shots. I mean, that's another example. Tommy Rees, we can't say enough good things to Tommy Rees. There's been a lot of chatter about him. For the first couple weeks, he's just had the perfect play call given the perfect moment this afternoon, feels more often than not.
And back to Estime, up the middle. Breaking tackles. Still on his feet as he gets a push, backs his way down to the 12-yard line.
I mean, just look at the push. Watch the tight end scrape across. Everybody's got angles. Guys are searching. And Estime's just had so many opportunities to get that 5'11" frame, 225 pounds, square shoulders going right at the defense. You know, when we started this game, remember we were talking about Tommy Rees, and we said they had to try to figure out who they can be. Kind of learning that a little bit today. That's who they can be, is this traditional dominant offensive line that can really run the football, and then everything is so easy for your quarterback.
Estime pounds his way inside the 10, down to about the 7. Calling the Jet Brown game last week, they had Kevin Stefanski mic'd up on the sideline, and this one you thought the Browns were going to win. Nick Chubb scores that touchdown with under 2 minutes to go, and there was a soundbite from Kevin Stefanski walking up the sideline going, "Boys, there's nothing better than when you know you're going to run, they know you're going to run.
Can't stop you.
And we still are able to run."
Yeah.
And that has been the story, certainly, of the second half of this game. There's no mystery, for the most part, about what Notre Dame is going to do, and it has to be demoralizing for North Carolina to not be able to stop it at all. 6 straight runs for 54 yards on this drive. Here's Estime. Spinning for the goal line, lost the football on his way down. And they will say it is a touchback and a North Carolina takeaway with 3:20 to go. was just about set to break the plane for a touchdown, and as he spun backwards, lost control of the football. Let's take another look. Just as he was about to break the plane, Tyshawn Chapman, or rather Will Hardy, comes up with the recovery. Review, Audric Estime's fumble to make sure that he was not down. And remember, you have to have a body part other than your foot or hand down in order to be ruled down. And you can see the hand planted, but just as his elbow was about to hit, the ball popped out. So it is a North Carolina takeaway. Here's Drake Maye over the middle as he finds Gavin Blackwell. And with 3:15 to go, North Carolina needs chunks, and they need them quickly, as Notre Dame, I'm sure, Dan, will be more than happy to surrender yards for time. That long throw incomplete.
You know, looking at this game, Notre Dame's run 82 plays. That's usually the world that North Carolina lives in. North Carolina's run 55 plays. You talked about that last time that they had the ball. They'd run 6 plays up until a certain moment. So the blueprint has been control the football, control the game for Notre Dame. They've done that. Get off the field on 3rd down. They've done that. Surprised that Notre Dame hasn't been, or North Carolina hasn't found a way to get more snaps.
Quarterback run for May does move the chains, but down by 3 scores with 3 minutes to go. It's a fresh set of downs. They've got a couple of timeouts left, but under 2:50 to go now. 4-man rush. Drake Maye. There's a shot down the sideline. Incomplete. Flag out. And it looks like it will be pass interference on Benjamin Morrison. J.J. Jones, the intended receiver.
Pass interference. Defense number 20. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
J.J. Jones, the sophomore, and Morrison, the true freshman, are going at each other. It's been a great battle today. Good coverage. I agree with that call. Just a little bit of a tug. J.J. Jones going up to make that. Yeah, he's got his right arm wrapped around him. How about the 2019 Myers Park High School, which I believe is outside of Charlotte? Their quarterback room was Drake Maye, Owen McCown, and Aiden McCown, who are Josh McCown's longtime NFL quarterback sons. Aiden started today, I believe, for the first time for Colorado. I mean, if you didn't win a state championship, you're a very bad coach.
Thrown behind Nesbitt. That'll make it 3rd down and 7 with 2:15 to go.
Listen, North Carolina, not a great performance today by this offense that's averaging 51 a game. Phil Longo, again, one of the great offensive. But listen, Drake Maye, pillar for your future. Amarian Hampton, pillar for your future. Andre Green, Nesbitt. There's some really good young talent here that you consider and say, we're going to play our best game today, but we got a really, really good nucleus of young players.
Swing pass, and there's another freshman that they have very high hopes for as well, George Pettaway. Another flag is thrown. If the play stands, it's 4th and 4. It looks like it will go against North Carolina.
Foul. Defense, number 11, continuous hands to the face. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Defense?
They called that on Ramon Henderson, but it looks like they may have gotten it wrong.
Should be Josh Downs, I believe.
Let's see. It is Josh Downs. That was the initial signal. They just pointed the wrong direction. So
15-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So that will make it 3rd down, and it looks like 23 for North Carolina, as Downs is called for the personal foul. Here comes a blitz. Heaving one to the sideline is Maye, and it's incomplete. Cam Hart had a chance at an interception, but he is ruled out of bounds. So So now it is 4th down and a mile.
Yeah, hard drive. That ball's just hanging in the air. Hard drives on the football, unable to keep it as he hits the ground. And big thing, right? Just being honest. You want Drake Maye to protect himself right now. You know, it's 4th and 20-something. You're down 19 points with under 2 minutes. Go just protect yourself. Don't take any unnecessary shot.
Notre Dame brings edge pressure, and Maye just gets it away. Wide open is Green for the touchdown. On 4th down and 21, with a late flag thrown after the touchdown was scored. With 1:44 to go, North Carolina's going to have a chance for an onside kick to keep slim hopes alive. But Notre Dame surrenders a touchdown bomb on 4th and a mile. What a throw by Drake Maye. And how close was that corner blitz stand to getting home and denying that throw in the first place?
How about Antoine Green? He's got 3 for $150, 2 touchdowns today.
And 5 touchdown passes now for Drake Maye. It looks like it might have been a celebration penalty on Antoine Green after he scored. So I guess the options are being given in terms of how the penalty will be measured.
So if the play's a touchdown, after the play, unsportsmanlike conduct by the receiver for spinning the ball, the 15-yard penalty be enforced on the try.
And that will probably take the 2-point play off the board.
I mean, we're going to call this a unsportsmanlike conduct, spinning the ball. There's no way you agree with that one, Bobby.
That's the rule, unfortunately.
God bless.
There's a rule to be disagreed with, and there's a bad judgment to be disagreed with, and now North Carolina's going to call timeout.
Second charge timeout.
This is why it's a big penalty.
Correct.
Because you're down 13.
Correct.
So you're going to go for 2
to try and make it 11.
Yeah, and that's why.
Now you probably can't.
You probably.
Although I guess it doesn't make a difference.
You go for it, right? Yeah.
You probably even from close to the 20-yard line, all the way back to the 18-yard line, are going to go for 2. If you kick the extra point and make it a 12-point game, there's no difference, really, between being down 12 and being down 13.
No, you still go for this.
Yeah, you might as well go for 2 anyway.
Nothing. Unless you sit there and say, well, 2 touchdowns, you wouldn't have to kick the extra point to win, so to speak. Just been some calls against Carolina today that I can't sit here and I say, I agree with them. I mean, to throw that flag in that moment, I just completely disagree with throwing an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty in that moment.
Yeah, I think you might completely disagree with the rule. That's the problem. But I'm not sure that the official, it's his position to not call it. So here's the 2-point try from back near the 20-yard line. He'll throw one in the flat. George Pettaway is going to be brought down inside the 15-yard line. So it's a 13-point game with 1:44 to go.
Yeah, I mean, this is just bad by Cam Hart, candidly. It's just verticals, and Green's on the outside. Now what happens is it's cover 2. They're just going to spin, freeze it. They're going to spin this safety back here. Now the back's going to leak out. He's got vision. He's trying to cheat something right here. Just keep sinking. That ball goes. There's no reason for you to step up there. That ball gets thrown to the flat. It's going to be a 10-yard gain. Safety spins over the top. You got bad vision in the backfield. Green one's right by you. And that's something Al Golden, their defensive coordinator, is going to rave about. There's no reason for us to be squatting at 10 yards right there. Credit for Drake Maye and Antoine Green to see it. Again, I disagree with that flag in that moment.
Well, now it's an onside kick for North Carolina to try to keep the game alive. They need 2 touchdowns in the last minute and 44. And that has to begin with an onside kick recovery. They only have one timeout left. So this will be victory formation just about for Notre Dame if their hands team can recover the onside kick. So Jonathan Kim will put it in play, and Lorenzo Stiles and Braden Lindsey are both on the near side to try and field the onside kick. The onside kick was put in play, but it looks like the officials blew whistles and blew the play dead just as it was kicked. So they're going to start all over again, a false start. Kim and Noah Burnett are both out there, and they're looking over to the sideline to see which one is going to be the one to kick the ball. It was Kim the first time. Let's see if Burnett tries the other side. It'll be Kim. Bunts it forward, and it is jumped on top of, it looks like, by Brandon Joseph, as I'm not even sure that ball would have made it the necessary 10 yards. So Notre Dame recovers the onside kick with 1:43 to go.
Good job by Brandon Joseph here, man. Just patience, patience, now pounce. Two in a row for Notre Dame. Marcus Freeman's got his first winning streak as a head coach.
Logan Diggs to the left of Pyne. And again, only one timeout left for North Carolina. So back-to-back wins it should be for Notre Dame as they beat Cal last week and now on the road to take on North Carolina. And 4 of their next 5 at home, including ranked games against BYU and Clemson.
Well, JT Bertrand, if the targeting gets upheld, will miss the first half of that BYU game. Syracuse is 4-0 as well, playing really good football.
So Mack Brown opting not to use the timeout, I guess makes eye contact across the field with Marcus Freeman and says, yes, this game is over and you can indeed take a knee. Well, Mack Brown still is a young football team.
Yeah.
And they will learn from this. So many young players that he believes are going to grow into something special on the offensive side of the ball, especially.
Offensively, I have zero concerns about their football team. I do think it's fair to sit there and say defensively, they got to get some things figured out. There's been way too many mental errors. There's been way too many people out of position. There's poor communication. And I guess the most disappointing thing, Bob, is you're coming off a bye week. You know, where a lot of that stuff should have been at least minimized and figured out. They played pretty good early in this game, but I think there's still a lot to get cleaned up on the defensive side of the football.
Well, a big day for Michael Mayer and a 45-32 win as Notre Dame makes it back-to-back victories for Marcus Freeman. And it's only been a couple of postseason losses in the ACC for Notre Dame.